ladies and gentlemen, today's very special guest is Christina Thomas. We're going to talk about life and career and overcoming our fears and a whole bunch of other stuff. So grab a pen, a pad, your ambition, your courage, and whatever you need. Let's get ready to move forward. TBR Live, interesting conversation with interesting people. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Our very special guest today is Mrs. Christina Thomas. We're going to talk about life and career and a whole bunch of other stuff, and we might finally tell some jokes. Let's get right into it. Thank you very much for being a part of the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right, first question. Who is Christina Thomas?
Wow, that's a loaded question, but what is it that you want to know? There's
before we get into the professional, who is the person?
Okay. Someone who is all about purpose and helping others identify and chase after it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I've noticed that you have speaker in your background, you have attorney in your background, you have advocate in your background. So let me ask, which one of those is the tree or the foundation of what you do, and which are the branches?
So the tree, as of now, because I guess we'll get into that later. But my thing has been since November surrendering and, non-resistance. So now I have pivoted of where the foundation of it all is in speaking and writing. And the other things come from that, because even in real estate, even in my business, that I have, my smoothie business, even in advocating, even in being an attorney, I've always done what I do now. So it's just bringing more of a focus to that and just realizing, okay, that is my purpose. And these are just avenues in which I fulfill my purpose. So that's why, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so as a writer, what do you enjoy writing about the most?
Life. So my tagline pretty much in everything that I speak about, that I write about, is life lessons. So life has dealt me quite a bit of lessons, and I'm sure it's the same for everybody, but sometimes we don't take heed to what those lessons are actually teaching. And honestly, just seeing them as lessons, most of the time we're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I can't make the bills this month. Gosh, why am I always in this situation? It's always something. Instead of just like, oh, wait. Let me peel back this layer real quick. I'm here for a reason. This is happening for a reason. What type of things is it, that I'm struggling with? What are my weaknesses that I'm being placed in this moment to grow? So what are those things? And that's why everybody that I talk to that are struggling with different things, my big key is to know your weaknesses, because that's where you will get tested. That's where the obstacles will come, because those are the places that you need to experience more growth in order to get to the next level. So I've been really conscientious on my soft spots. So I know them very well.
Okay.
And I see, once you get to know it, you'll see there's a pattern there of why you keep ending up, because that's what people say, I keep ending up in the same spot. Oh my gosh, this just happened, whatever. And it's like, well, you're ending up there because you're not learning what it is that you're supposed to in that moment. So you're going to keep repeating it over and over again until you get it.
Right. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I get into the other stuff, I saw something interesting that you posted the other day, and I'm not sure when you posted it, but I saw it the other day, and I
Mhm.
thought it was interesting. You were talking about fear.
Uh-huh.
Can you get into a little bit of that for those who may not have seen it? What was the sort of the? It was interesting stuff. What was sort of the bottom line to what you were trying to get across?
So that I what sparked it is that I've talked to, oh my gosh, I've been doing this purpose thing unknowingly since I was in elementary school, right? So and I would always ask adults, like, are you living your purpose? They're like, what the heck? What are you asking me that for? And so it was kind of weird at first,
Mhm.
but whatever. So I would always ask people that, and I would never get a yes, like ever. And I could never understand it. Well, wait, you're an adult. Like my head was just spinning. You're an adult. You get to do what you want. You're telling me you should do X, but instead you're doing Y. Like, I don't get it. But their reasoning was, I don't have enough money, or I have a family and shoot, I got to pay the bills. I can't just do that. Shoot, I'm 50. I can't turn around and do that. And I'm like, who's saying you can't? You saying you can't, And
Yeah.
so, and it's just crazy that from then till now, I talk to people and it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff I used to hear years ago. So I'm like, okay, when we're peeling back those layers, it's just like, okay, well, why? My famous thing, I've always asked myself, I was a why kid. So why? You tell me something, I'm like, why? Why? Because there's always a reason, and it would piss people off. But but I do that to myself. If I'm feeling a certain way, if somebody made me mad, I'm saying why? Okay, well, they did so and so, and I thought they were going to do that. Why? And then once I get down to it, it's because it's a mirror that now I see in somebody else something that I don't like about me and something that I didn't do. So there's reasons to ask why, right? So yeah, so I ask people that, and when we peel back those layers, it gets down to the basis of most of the time it's fear. It's fear, and I've had people even tell me, well, it's not fear that's keeping me from doing this, but I just don't know if I'm going to succeed. That's fear. And I'm like, no matter what box you put it in and what pretty bow you tie around it, that's what it is. So you are fearful of stepping out. And what I had to ask was just, what are you gaining from that? And that was the premise of the video. Just like, let's really think about this. What are you gaining from giving into your fears? Is it pushing you towards where you want to be? Because the people that I talk to, they have goals. They want to do things,
Yeah.
but giving into their fears, they're doing this. They're moving back from it. And so I'm just like, well, what do you have to lose if you go forward? If you go forward and chase the thing that you are being led to do. It doesn't even make, I'm just like, let's just really think about this. If you're being led that way, do you really think you're being led that way to just fail? No. So when they wrap their head around it, it's like, gosh, dang, I never thought about it that way. All right. Yeah. That's why you should be asking why.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for the video. It's just really digging into fear and just what you gain from it, which is nothing. You don't gain anything, but you have there's the possibility for you to lose everything.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt. Okay, that's good stuff. I wanted some people to hear that just in case they didn't see your post because that was really really good stuff.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So well, since we're already talking about it, so when a person decides that they're tired of being afraid of that next move, what's a good first step for
So it depends on what, I mean, tired you are. Like,
them?
because you can just be fed up and it's like, oh my gosh, I keep going in circles and oh, I don't have enough money. And so I've always felt like I'm supposed to be a business owner, so I'm going to start a business. That's not it. So what I mean is that when I keep feeling this thing, I am not where I am supposed to be. And those are the people who I'm talking to. It's just like, okay, it's something in me that I cannot shake, and I should be doing something else. So most of the time they know what they should be doing. They're just not doing it because they're scared. They're fearful. So my thing is, okay, if we identified what it is that you should be doing in the big realm, so we've got this big umbrella of what you should be doing. What is the first step? What is the thing that you can do today to be able to do that? Because, well, I mean, and I just posted something that's kind of along this line of just like, okay, if I know that the thing that, let's say I want to get into real estate investing. I talk to a lot of people who want to get in real estate investing. Okay. And they haven't because they're scared. Why are you scared? Oh, because I don't feel like I know enough. Okay. So in order to cure that, what is it that you can do today? Pick up a book. What is it that you can do today? Listen to a podcast, get familiar with the lingo, enable yourself with knowledge to be able to move forward. If that is your pain point and that's the thing that's keeping you back, keeping you from moving forward,
Yeah.
then let's identify what is that small step that we can take today to make us feel better and set us up for a better day tomorrow. And then it just keeps building on that. But I know for me, my problem was I jumped all in. So there is no, like, I never would take steps. It was just like, okay, well, I feel like I should be doing real estate investing. Okay, next minute, I'm doing it. And I'm just like, oh, crap, and that creates a whole whirlwind of things, because what that can do is damage the confidence that you did have coming in, right? Because you are bound to fail. Like you're bound to make your mistakes. You're bound to have plenty of bumps and bruises just going in by yourself, and you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So so for others, it can play on that, because if you don't think, if you go into something and you're thinking already like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to, what if this happened? What if this happened? And you just jump all in. What's going to happen is that you're going to be like, see, I shouldn't have done it. I knew I shouldn't have done it. Next time I'm going to be, yeah. So you've just got to take it step by step of just identifying that small thing. What can you do today? And just constantly asking yourself, and I do that all the time, am I playing at my best in this moment? Right now, in this second, am I doing everything that I can possibly do to get to where I want to be? Stop living in the future, because that was me too. Just like, oh my gosh, it's so big. The vision is so big. How am I going to get there? Oh my goodness, I got to read 1,000 books today, and this, that, the other. It's like, hold up. You'll never get there acting like that. Just take it small chunks. Stop living in the future. Stop living in the past. And be here right now, and just check yourself as each moment goes. Just like, okay, check in with yourself. Am I doing everything that I should be doing? Okay, I'm scrolling through Instagram. Is this helping me get to where I need to be? Nah, it's not. Okay, let me check myself. And that's what you got to do. It's a consistent thing. And I still have to do that. I do that all the time. I always get caught up. I go search for something that I'm supposed to be doing, and then I see other people. I see Beyonce, pop up, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, oh gosh, dang it, I fell into it again.
Yeah.
But that's how it works. It's just becoming more mindful, and yeah.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Okay, so you seem to be a very spiritually grounded or centered person. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you get there? Were you born that way, or did something
No.
happen? How did you get there?
Definitely was not born that way, even though I was born into a Christian household. So we did go to church and everything, but that doesn't necessarily, at least for me, that didn't necessarily do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, I know that God is real, and I know you're supposed to go to church. I know you're supposed to dress up for church. I know you're supposed, it was like rules. It was rule based. And I'm like, okay, you got to follow these things and follow these things. And I am not a person who, like, I have learned that I do not live in boxes. I do not do well with rules. So unless I know why, right? I'm go back to the why. So it only took for so long that I was just like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. Before I was like, wait, why? Wait, why do you have to dress up to go to church? Like, why do you have to do that? You know, I was just like, I just don't understand. Why are we looking at them like they're crazy when they come in with, you know, because church people are famous to doing that.
Yes,
Coming with some jeans and they're like,
absolutely.
you see, and I'm like, well, wait, aren't you supposed to be filled with love? Because, you know, you're a Christian and you're supposed, and I just had so many questions. So I kind of, I'm not going to say I got away from it, but I was questioning, and I felt like I was wrong for questioning it. So it wasn't really anybody that I could just ask and just, because I would have gotten a whole lot of judgment. And I do from even asking certain things. So it's just like, what? You ask? You're not even supposed to read the Bible. What? You know, I'm like, what? So I kind of strayed away from it a little bit of just where, yeah, I would pray, I would read the Bible, and I would still go to church, but it just wasn't, it wasn't in me. I'm just like, I wasn't being led. I wasn't really connecting with God. And what I think the church often leaves out in this is the relationship. Like, that's bigger than anything. So if you have a relationship with God and y'all are tight and you're being led, you're allowing him to lead you and you're in that surrender mode, then it is no question of whether you're going to obey, because you got your ear to his mouth, right? And it's like, okay, well, whatever you're telling me, I'm going to do. And I trust you in developing that trust. And do I think that that just comes from reading the Bible? No, it doesn't. I know a lot of people who know the Bible in and out and kind of. so that ain't it. But I'm just saying. So yeah. So yeah, and it's a lot of church. It's a lot of people who are very, very, you know, centered in their faith as far as knowing the Bible and knowing this, and they can tell you anything and everything, but yet they're still keeping themselves in the box, and they're not playing to the magnitude of what they believe God has for them because of fear. And I'm just like, well, wait, you know, I thought so what you're doing is we're reading the Bible, we're praying, but we're lacking that relationship. Because when you have that, that's when you're able to overcome those fears, and that's when you're able to step out the box, because it's not you. That's why I was it's not me. It's not my confidence, because my confidence ain't there. So I've got to say, okay, well, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have that amount of knowledge, but I know somebody who does. So if I'm playing on a team with Michael Jordan, you think I'm worried about losing? I'm not losing. Like, I passed the ball. Look, I got him on my team. So that's what it is. I mean, and just really cultivating that relationship. And so that happened. I want to say that started when I just came to ground zero of just like, I just was so frustrated, just going around in circles after circles. It was like, look, this is really getting on my nerves. So my pain point, like I said, know your weaknesses. My pain point was money. So I would find myself up and then down and then up and then down. And I just got so tired of it, but I was chasing money, right? Because, you know, that's what you do. So, so everybody says, and that's what I would hear is just like, you got to grind, you got to this, you got to sacrifice, you got to, you know, it's painful going through that. This is da, 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 da. So I was thinking that, you know, this was frustrating. This was painful. This did hurt, but that's what you're supposed to feel when you're on the road to success. So I'm like, okay, I'm going through this thing. Oh, this sucks. Okay, you know, I'm going. But I just got tired. And I guess God was just like, look, obviously you are so hard at it and you are not going to get it. So I'm just going to tell you to stop. So I was told in November to just stop everything, stop advertising, stop marketing. And I'm like, have you lost your mind? Who paying my bills? If I don't tell people, if I'm not getting it out there and I'm not marketing, I'm not trying to hand out business cards and putting up flyers and all this other stuff, how people gonna know what I'm doing? That don't even make no sense. And and so after that little thing, I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Clearly, what I'm doing isn't what I should be doing, and it's not getting me to where I want to go anyway. So you're telling me to do this, and you told me that you'll give me the people that I need. Cool. I'm gonna trust you on this. So I stopped. I stopped everything and started doing the videos that I do now, because that's what it was. It's like, no, I don't want you to be advertising. I don't want you to do anything. I want you to focus on these videos. I'm like, that don't even make sense. Like, who people gonna be like, what is she doing? I thought now she's trying to be a motivational speaker. Like, what? Hold up, what is she? So I really thought that it was gonna confuse everybody, and then what would people think? And oh my gosh, this is crazy. This isn't gonna work. And then I'm like, putting out videos ain't paying my bills. So I got a whole list of questions of like, why are you telling me to do this? But that was the one time that I was like, I'm gonna stop asking why. and I'm gonna just do. Sometimes the why, you need to let it go. So you need to know when to press the why and when to just shut up and do. So I shut up and I did it. And since then, it's just been where I've been continually taken out of my comfort zone and pushed. Of just like, I have at this point right now, I don't have control. So that's my other weakness. I love to be in control of everything. I want everything. I'm my husband, of everything. Like, I literally just take on everybody's stuff and just like, oh, I expected him to do that. That's, yeah. And I allow exterior things to kind of control me emotionally and what my mood. If my husband didn't do the dishes, I'm sitting there slamming cabinets. And I'm having this internal dialogue like, oh my God. Man, it's just dishes. Why can't he do this? And just pissing myself off. And I'm just like, why do you, after a while, it just was like during my meditation, like, why do you do that? Why are you allowing what other people are doing, be it your husband, be it your kids? I don't care if you're your own mama. Why are you allowing other people and exterior, things control how you react internally? And I'm like, oh crap, So sometimes we are so focused on controlling everybody else and controlling the external that we forget to control what matters is us in our mind. So that's a whole nother story. Yeah. So that on to say that's what kind of, from November to now, I've experienced more growth than I have my entire life. And it's because of the fact that I let go, and I'm in a constant state of surrender. And I say constant because literally during the day, at every moment, I've got to check myself and be like, am I resisting? And sometimes even when I think that I'm not resisting, then it's like, I am, dang it. I come back to the fact I'm still resisting. So it's a process, but that's what's gotten me closer and just fostering this relationship and not being so tied to, okay, well, wait, am I Christian? Am I just going off the Bible? And what about this Muslim thing? Like, what are they talking about? Oh, how do I know that's not true? And what about, I don't even care. I know that there is one God. Yes, I'm led to the Bible, and the things that I draw out are from the Bible, and those are the things that resonate with me. But I know that we serve one God. So if you're having, and that's what I'm concerned with other people, is just like, I don't care if you're saying you're Muslim. I don't care if you're saying, I don't care. If you are talking to and you are having a relationship and cultivating that relationship with the creator of the universe, then you good.
Mm.
That's it. The relationship is key. And you ask God to reveal himself to you. Who is he? Ask him. And I'm like, if you're confused, and that's what I had to do, was just like, Lord, I don't even know anymore.
Mhm.
Can you show me? Can you, and I received that confirmation. I'm just like, look, I am, and just what he is in my life and what role he plays. And so it's just allowed me to get to know him better, rather than just in that box of, okay, I got to read the Bible, and that's the closest that I get to him. No. Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay. All right. So I want to throw a word at you. Tell me what your thoughts are about this word. You ready?
Okay.
Balance.
Oh, Lord. So, um, I do not necessarily agree with that word
Okay.
when it comes to life,
Okay.
because when you have balance, everything is like this, right?
Right.
We're getting equal amount of energy, equal amount of attention, and that don't happen. So I'm just like, especially with, you got businesses and kids and a husband and this, that, and other. No, no. Um, and I spent a lot of time trying to chase this and just like, oh my gosh, I'm not giving them enough. Oh, I'm not doing this. And I'm doing it. Does not work. At least for me, it doesn't. And the majority of people that I talk to, it doesn't work for them either. So what I had to do was just kind of change that and just say, okay, I'm not trying to achieve balance, because in a way that's kind of perfection. I'm not trying to achieve that. What I want to do is that when I'm in these moments, if I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. And I am in that moment. I am mindful of the moment. I'm not thinking about, oh my goodness, because what would happen before is I would be with my kids, but I would be doing this. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I got to do this and I got to do. Okay, baby, oh yeah, yeah, I got.
Mhm.
Oh, let me call it. And I'm doing that, and then I felt terrible going to sleep. It's just like, I didn't really spend time with them. I was there, but I wasn't really present. So, and the same thing with my husband. I would do that all the time. Just like, okay, our date nights, I would be on the phone. I would be finishing up a listing, and he's like, okay, well, I guess we're just going to watch something, and even when we're watching a movie, I'm sitting here typing. What kind of crap is that? So that's what I've done. It's just like, okay, what is my ideal life? What is it that what I want to do? How much time do I want to spend with my kids each day? How much time do I want to spend with my husband? And so I had to literally write it down. And no, it's not hours and hours upon each day. Shoot, I'm like, look, I need 30 minutes to an hour of present time with them, right? So that's what I felt that I should be writing down. Other people, it may look different, but that's what I wrote down, and that's the thing that I try to stick to. It's like, okay, this is what, we need to have this time, or this is what it is, and nothing can interfere in this moment, because that's what I want. So balance, yeah, you'd be chasing forever. It's just, yeah, forever.
Okay. I got you. Okay. One more thing I want to throw at you before I talk about business.
Uh-huh.
There's a scripture. Give me your thoughts about this scripture. You ready?
Okay.
Be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Your thoughts.
that's that is something to live by, because like I was saying, we often get so caught up in what's happening around us, what other people are doing, what other people will think. Oh my goodness, what was this going to be? And trying to control these things, and we're getting wrapped up in what other people say. Of just, whether it be the hustle, whether it be the grind, whether it be how much money you need to have, or whether it be what stocks you should be invested, whatever. You are just like all over the place. But what really needs to happen is really going deep and doing the work that really a lot of people don't want to do. And getting to know yourself, getting to know why you were created, getting to know God, and really cultivating, like I said, that relationship. And that's what happens when you start to have that renewal. You start to shed all that other stuff. I was just like, okay, what other people think, and what the world is doing, and how other people are making moves, and oh my goodness, my timeline is shucks, I'm already 35, I'm already this, it's like, dang, I need to hurry up. You start shedding that because you know that, okay, I'm on this journey. I'm on mine. Mine doesn't look like yours. I can't compare myself to you. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's how I can cheer you on and not think anything, less about myself. If I am in that relationship and I'm so close and and in tune with God, and I'm being led by him, and I'm doing everything. That's why I said check in with yourself, see if you're doing everything that you should be. If you're checking those boxes, then honey, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Nothing. So that's what I think in renewing your mind, of just not adopting what other people are doing and what other people are thinking and what the world is what's going on in the world and what the world is thinking, and allowing that to just cloud yours. It's just like, no, you're different. You're different. You were made different. You were created different for a specific reason. You have a specific purpose to fulfill. You ain't got time to worry about that. Check your boxes. Make sure you're doing everything that you should be doing. And then we'll get to that,
Mhm.
So it just keeps you from a lot of headache. But just that renewal process, though, is a process. It's not an overnight thing.
Gotcha. Okay, so where you want to go next? Business or politics? Where you want to go?
Yeah, we can go business. I don't even like.
Okay, all right. Well, there's only one question I got to ask you about politics. We'll do business first. I
Okay.
know a lot of entrepreneurs, and most of them do multiple things. They have multiple areas, multiple businesses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them have a favorite, whether they will admit it or not. Most of them have something that they like a little more than the rest. Do you have a favorite? And if so, what is it?
That's a hard one for me because all of my businesses incorporate the one thing that I really, really love.
Okay.
So, um, my purpose is purpose.
Mhm.
So that is, I made it in unknowingly too, because who would have thought that you're in real estate? So I'm going to talk about the real estate part. You're in real estate and you're helping people in their path of purpose. That doesn't even, that's two different things. You're helping them to the path of home ownership. But I seem to attract all those who have problems in other areas. So they are being held back by their limiting beliefs or fears and this, that, and the other. And we've got to cover those things while we're on the path of home ownership.
Mhm.
So that's what, I mean, I didn't really ever think that I was going to be in real estate. I did not want to, and definitely never wanted to be a real estate agent. Specifically, I told my husband when I got my license, because I got my license because we were doing investing together. And he was like, well, one of us should have a license. So I was like, well, I just finished taking the bar. So, I mean, I guess I'm good at taking tests. So I'm like, I can go ahead and take another one. I ain't got no jobs.
Mhm.
So, I took it, but I told him, I was like, just because I'm getting this, it does not mean I'm going to be a real estate agent, because I do not want to show people houses. I don't want to, how they're portrayed on TV. I was like,
Mhm.
I am not trying to do that. Look at this granite countertop. Oh my goodness, isn't it just a dream? That is not me. So I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to do that. I have no interest whatsoever. And sure enough, I got my license, and then all of a sudden I became a full-blown real estate agent. So, but it's not where I necessarily love showing people houses. Now, I do like looking at houses. My husband and I would go all the time. I would go with my family when I was younger, and I like new houses, and I like seeing how things are built and all that good stuff. But I ain't want nobody else with me. That I ain't really know. But But now that I'm doing it, I see that it's a little bit deeper than just real estate and helping people find houses. Like we have deep conversations, people who are afraid to step out, and I get to do the same thing that I'm doing now, that I do in my videos, that I do and that I've been doing. So that is the love. The love is speaking and writing about the things that we all go through.
Excellent. Okay. Okay. You definitely answered that question. Thank you very much. Okay, so I have one question about politics, and this is it.
Hmm.
If you were elected president in November, if it was you, what would be the first three things that you would deal with when you got into office?
Oh Lord. There's like so many things. One of the things, sorry, one of the things would be college tuition,
Okay.
right? I would make that a bit easier to obtain, as far as financial, on the financial aspect. Not necessarily saying that it should just be free for everybody, but there should be an aspect in there of where it's free for some, whether you have to qualify for it or whatever it is. But that should be accessible for everybody, especially since at this point right now, having a college degree is like a high school degree. It's pretty much required. In anything that you do, it's required. So just taking that back. And then these freaking loans. I mean, so the interest rates on loans and just the way that they do them, I think that needs to change. Um, it's just not a good thing. And then certain rights that are taken away from felons. Um, I think that needs to be modified as well. So we can't just sit there and be like, oh, well, no, you can't vote because you're a felon, but yet you can pay taxes. That makes sense. No,
Gotcha.
it doesn't. So, so those are the things that I would probably start with, and it's a whole laundry list of everything else. Because Lord, we are just mm, we
Okay.
got a lot of work to do, a lot of
Yes.
work to do, and reparations is another one that shucks, I think that might be the first. They owe us. We are owed a lot. And I mean, even that's why I'm just like, it's just so much in the financial world. And I mean, housing, there are just so many things that still to this day hold us back. And just credit, oh my gosh, it's so much. But it all started, we already know where it all started. And since then, it's just been an uphill battle for us. And there's no doubt that they owe us. They owe, and I would make them pay.
Okay.
They don't want me in office.
I'm glad you brought that up. So if you signed an executive order to give reparations, what would that look like?
So the thing is that before, and I would probably go back to when President Lincoln. So now when slavery was abolished and all that good stuff, because that was when it was abolished. But Lincoln was signing an order for us to have, for every free person to have 40 acres of land. Did we get that? No,
I don't think so. I don't remember.
no, we didn't. So he signed it. It was inked. It was ready to go. They were like, yes, we got word. We were supposed to get those 40 acres, and then we were getting them. And then all of a sudden, he got assassinated. And when he was, then here we go. We get the next dude, and he comes in and he's like, yeah, about that. Nah, they're going to have to work for it. What? They're going to have to qualify just like everybody else does. And what did they do? They went and they told them, and they snatched whatever it is that they had back, and they took it. So I would be starting there where we get our 40 acres
Okay.
plus some.
Mhm.
So at this point right now, I read, what was it? It was like 14 trillion that we're supposed to be due. Where they going to get that money from? I don't know, but the same place they got those trillions of dollars that we ain't have to pay the stimulus money, right? So I don't know where you're gonna find it, but y'all can find it for everything else. We already in debt.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last thing before I let you go. Do you have anything in the future that you will be promoting? Book, speaking tour, or whatever.
So right now, where I'm just focused on building our smoothie business up. So that's been different for me because that's totally, you talking about outside of the box. My goodness, I don't know if you can get any further. I've never been in the restaurant business except for uh, being a waitress. So
Mhm.
so other than that, I don't know anything about it. So that was just so far from where I've been comfortable in. I'm comfortable now in the real estate space, but I don't know why I thought that it would be any different because when I got into real estate, I didn't know anything about real estate either. So now I'm comfortable in that area, and God is like, okay, time to move. I need you to do something else and add to it. So,
Okay.
like I said, my hands, I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'm making smoothies. I'm a smoothie owner. I own a business that makes smoothies. There we go. So
Excellent.
focusing on that and
Okay.
growing that, and then I'm sure once that's grown, I'll be on to the next thing.
Very
Yeah.
good. Okay. All right. Last thing, and then we are done. Success. What are your three non-negotiables to success?
As in, like, what are the three things that will let me know that I'm successful?
No, the
Or
three
that
things that you do in your life that are non-negotiable, or the three things that you need in your life in order for you to become successful, like time, rest, eating,
oh, okay.
money, or whatever.
So growth
Okay.
is a big one.
Okay.
Um, Definitely health. That's one. So that would encompass, of course, drinking enough water,
Mhm.
eating, and just working out. So I do that and being more consistent, which I'm doing now. I'm 3 weeks straight. You got to celebrate the small wins. So yeah, before it was spotty. It was just like here and there and everywhere, and I would feel terrible. So health and growth and just awareness
Okay.
is a big one for me. And then, but that's kind of, so I would put awareness with growth, and then to add the third,
Mhm.
it would be family,
Okay.
making sure that I am present with them, and that's a because that's a big one, huge.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Well, that's all we got. Thank you so much for being on the show. This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to talking to you again. This is
Of course.
this is good stuff. Yes, ma'am. All right. Thanks again. Have a good day. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye bye.